generally, and this is a little bit archaic because it's based upon population studies that also are kind of looking at bell curve distributions, but generally, a healthy testosterone level is between 900 and 300 nanograms per deciliter, regardless of age. That's not a true, it shouldn't be a true statement, but that is a true statement according to the medical community. And so some guys will naturally run at 1200. Some guys will naturally run at 1800. Some guys may run at 2000. I met a guy at a conference that ran at 2100 naturally, right? And I think that one, you have to understand what is the trend line of your life. Did you normally run at 2100 and now you're running at 1200? That's a 900-point decrease. And for you, even though you're above the threshold, it's probably unhealthy. Or I would say it's you're feeling the effects of low testosterone and you should be elevated. Versus someone else might naturally run at 400, and if you took them from 400 to like a 12 or 1300, you probably put them into a little bit of a red zone. I want to make sure that I say that there's a gray area here based upon the individual. If your testosterone level is too high, it can actually present some longer term healthcare problems if they're not supposed to be there. And when I say not supposed to be there, once again, you have to look at the trend line and think about where you were previously in your life. There are certain side effects, right? And this is really important. A lot of what we spend our time doing, we kind of like call ourselves the most conservative clinic out there. About 15 to 20% of guys, they have an elevated hematocrit number after they take testosterone. It is the overproduction of red blood cells. Now, one could say that doesn't seem like a big deal because when you live in elevated parts of the world, you have more red blood cells. They help you carry more oxygen. That's actually what a lot of runners do. But the problem is when you have a elevated hematocrit level, you theoretically could have more cardiovascular events, or if you had an operation, you could bleed out a little bit easier. And so I'm one of those guys. Every 6 months, I have to go donate a liter of blood, right? And that's the easiest way you solve it. And that would kind of be like the biggest issue, which is if your testosterone levels are elevated too high for a prolonged period of time, there could be some real cardiovascular events that could happen.